All right, I'm live, it says. I'm actually working with a new mic here, so if you can hear me, not only hit the number one, but do I sound good? Does it need to come up more? How do I sound? For those of you that are here right now, how is the mic sounding? And I'm trying a new mic. Can hear you, but you sound faint. Yeah? I sound faint. Can other people confirm? Do I sound a little faint? Probably up it a tad. All right, let me this sounds anybody better? Okay, my guess is this sounds better because I'm looking over and I see the volume bar in the yellow. So is this sound better, Mark? Again, I'm just asking right now, how does the mic sound? I'm on a new mic. Sounds better? Does it sound good? I'm assuming. Not yes, better, good. Okay. All right, got to remember 78 is the setting. All right, so 78. Help me remember 78. That is the setting. What causes a sell-off today? Well, do you want the for sure answer or do you want the speculation answer, Assad? What answer would you like about? Because I do have an answer for what caused a sell-off today. So I have the for sure answer, but then there's also a speculation answer. But well, welcome everybody. As always, if you've been here before and you know you're gonna like, make sure you hit that like button. We are on a 6-day streak now of 100 likes. So I want to keep that going. Now, if you're brand new, first off, welcome. But don't hit the like button because I understand you don't know if you're going to like what you see. But if you've been here before and you know that you're going to enjoy, do not forget to hit that like button. And Mohammed, hello. And as always, this is viewer driven. So I want to just kind of go wherever you take us. We can get some live trades. Fantastic. If you have a request for a chart, whether that's a stock, an option, a futures, Forex pairing, crypto, let me know and I can do that. $5 super chats, make sure it gets done and I'll do it right away. Same with questions. I can't promise that I'll see your question or answer your question or see your request and do your request once the chat box picks up. But if you want me to for sure see it and address it right away, $5 super chats, make that happen. And I just say that because I understand. I mean, you could ask me something, but I may not get to it for like 20 minutes from now because I start at the top of the chat box and kind of go from there. But like I said, if you want me to get to it right away, then $5 super chats, make that happen. Assad, the sure answer, well, the reason for the sell-off today is because there are more sellers than buyers, right? Just basic economics. Oops, I didn't get this adjusted. Let me get this moved over. There we go. So the markets today, let's take a look at the market. Why is the sell-off today? Actually, let's look at this on the 5-minute time frame. So why is the price going down? Well, there are more sellers than buyers. That's why. Now, why are there more sellers than buyers? Well, I mean, open up any app, any site, and you'll get all sorts of theories. You'll get all sorts of speculation on why there are more sellers than buyers. But the reason why we're going down, why there's a sell-off is because, again, there are more sellers out there than people that are wanting to buy. And then after that, like I said, nobody knows why that's the case. People can speculate. People can throw out their reasoning and their thoughts, but nobody actually knows. Clay, I have a question on Tradeovate platform. I draw support lines on the 10-minute. How do I get them to also show up on the 2-minute and the 5-minute? I don't know. Does anybody know? Because that's something that I would find helpful too, Webb. But I do not know the answer to that. But if somebody does have an answer to that, I would be just as interested as you are because that'd be an interesting thing for sure. You sound quiet again. All right, let me check the sound settings on this. It's still at 78, but I do agree it's not getting into the yellow anymore. But is it still doable, or am I like sounding really, really far away? Like, how bad is it? Like, is this unworkable? I mean, I guess it can try a little bit more. Is this getting me back up in the yellows a little bit? Sounds really far away. Okay. How about now? Is this better? Is this better? This has got to be... It doesn't really seem like it's... All right. I hear you just fine. Sounds good here. Well, I don't know, Mark. Maybe the problem's on your end at this point. I think it's on the YouTube side. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I do, when I'm looking, well, no, now I'm seeing myself definitely in the yellow, so I'd assume I sound fine. Hi, what are those two lines on your chart? And sound is good. We can hear you clearly. Okay. The lines here, that is the 50 period simple moving average. That is the 200 period simple moving average. Oh, and I got to do this too. Man, I am really slacking. There we go. I've been wondering about this mic though. I thought it was broken, but now come to find out, it was just the port on my computer was broken. But yeah, this mic is definitely very, very old. So I might just switch because I don't think Mark's necessarily crazy. I think there's a possibility that this thing is maybe being a little goofy here. Again, if you're enjoying, and if you've been here before and you know you're going to enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. Why do most traders change the June contracts today? Because the June contracts have more volume, and as traders, that's what we want. We want volume. All right, I'm gonna change real quick my mic. But that I forgot. I changed it because that's gonna create more of a. Okay, one final time, and then I promise I'll stop asking. Can everybody hear me? Like, does this sound does this sound okay? If I talk right here, does this sound okay? Or do I sound like I'm really far away? Okay. Can you put yes sounds good? That was my fault. Yes sounds good or yes sounds far away? No, it sounds bad. Far away. Half as good as previous streams. Okay, then this is definitely the mic. All right, let me change this out. Hello, hello, hello. Can people hear me now? And does this sound better? Can people hear me now? And does this sound better? It's just actually, Matt. It's just me now. Nate is gone. Nate has parted ways, so just me. Yes, better. Okay. All right. So this is the problem with. I mean, it's all my fault. But we moved to Iowa, and we're gonna build a house. I bought some acreage. Blah blah blah. We're gonna build a house, but we're in a temporary house right now. This is my temporary office, and I bought a desk that's too small. So now my webcam is messed up because I don't have enough real estate on my desk. I did not get a wide enough one. I don't know why I thought this could work, and it does work, but in a very bootleg style. So I appreciate your patience here. Bear with me. Let me figure out how I can make this work because Yeah, I definitely don't want to shortchange people on the mic, but I'm glad this one sounds way better. But yeah, I apologize for the bootleg setup, but and I don't know. We're starting the pole barn now. I don't know how long it'll be like this, but let me just figure this out. Let me turn the light back off so it's the lighting actually works a little bit better. Actually, the way the cam is right now, I don't think that's... No, I see what's going on. That's how I'm making that work. Can I get it on my desk? And this mic is just... I really just need to probably get a better mic. Okay, there we go. We're on the desk fully. I can type. Test 1 2, test 1 2. I think I'm still hitting... Yeah, I'm still getting the yellow, so I should... The top of my mug's kind of cut off a little bit, but that's right. Nobody's here to look at my ugly face. All right. I think we are in motion. I think we are good. The sound is better. Top of my head's cut off a little bit, but that's okay. Do I maybe try to get this down a little bit? Okay, I'll putz around with that stuff later. So thank you for your patience in that. Thank you for the feedback. I'm glad to know that mic is essentially garbage. Rough morning for the boy. Uh-oh. Well, on the bright side of things, at least they're just prop firms, so at least any sort of like rough $1,000 trades were not actually your money. Google is at a discount. Discount? What? Huh? Hey, Evil Shaddix, up 700 today. Nice. 50K account and halfway from passing. Very good. Still a couple days left, so taking it slow. The best I've done after blowing 3 accounts. Fantastic, fantastic. And I know you know this, Evil Shaddix, but blown accounts are part of the prop firm world. That just comes with the territory. It's all kind of like you just factor in blown accounts because they're almost like $100 trades. And for some of you that have, just curious, when I say a prop account, does anybody have any idea? So, or I'm sorry, when I say prop firm account, give me a 5 if you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about when you say prop firm account. Too much volatility, got hit at the open. Yeah, the open was, I got to show you something. So anyways, with prop firms, and the reason why I'm saying blown accounts are part of it is because in all actuality, and you said 50,000, really you're taking $119 trades, meaning your risk is $119 for any trade that you take because that is the cost to get the account. So because the way the prop firm works, during the first phase, you have to prove yourself. So during the prove yourself, and then after that, you go to the pro account where you start to make money, you get to keep the money and all that good stuff. But during the test phase, the reason why I say every trade you make is technically just a $119 account or trade is because that's your risk. Your true risk is the cost of the account. So for Evil Shaddix here, every trade he's making or every trade you're making in a prop firm account, your actual risk per trade is whatever it costs you to buy that account. So in this situation, $119. Now, if he goes and he loses $2,000 on that trade or what have you, yes, he has failed the test. He can always start over again and try the test again, but he's failed this portion of the journey. But again, you can start over. But his true cost was only $119, which is why blown accounts are okay, because in all actuality, from just a numerical standpoint, you just lost $119 on the trade. That's it. That's all you lost on the trade. So sure, maybe your P&L is like, whoops, that was crazy. Just lost $2,200, failed the test, but you didn't actually lose $2,200. You just lost the cost of the account. So Evil Shaddix, yeah, he's blown 3 accounts, or you could just look at that as he's had 3 losing trades. Each of those trades cost him $119, which, all things considered, $119 loss on a trade, not exactly the end of the world. You can survive the markets a pretty long time if a trade is only costing you $119 compared to, $2,000 or something like that. Would volume point of control work with... I don't know. Craig, you are the second person that's talked about this point of control. I have no idea what that is. Like, it's cool sounding. Like, it sounds like that's what the cool kids are using lingo-wise, but I don't know what that is. Awesome. So again, $5 super chats. If you have a request for something, I can take a look at it. If you have a question or a comment, whatever, $5 super chats, make sure that I see it right away. You don't have to do that, but the risk is either I never get to your request, or I never see your question, I never interact with it, or it takes me 20 minutes, and by the time I get to it, you're already gone. So that is the benefit of a super chat here. Right now, we're looking at futures, and I'm always curious. Is anyone here never traded futures? Or, well, actually, I do want to take a look at just kind of the overall markets right now. So QQQ on the 5-minute. Looking like we have a bit of a falling wedge here. That's actually knocking right on the door. So this is interesting. Falling wedge pattern, knocking on the door. Is it going to get a push to the upside? If so, then yeah, we could definitely be seeing a bigger push upwards within the markets here over the next couple hours. We'll see what happens. Now, there's no guarantees, right? Nobody's saying there's a guarantee, but this is a falling wedge. It is knocking on the door of that falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, by the way. Again, though, just because something's bullish doesn't mean it's going to go back upwards. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting dynamic right now on the 5-minute. How's the SPY looking on the 5-minute? Same general idea, yes, but not like the... So I would argue we do have a falling wedge also here. But unlike the QQQ, which was, as we just saw, which was doing battle, this one is not doing battle. Still basically in the middle of the range there. Man, you're leaving us already, Emmy? You used to hang out with us. Now you just show up and you bail? Come on now. Again, if you enjoy, if you're liking, make sure you hit that like button. We're on a 6-day streak of 100 likes, so let's keep that going. So if you're liking what you see here, hit that like button. And again, if anybody has any requests, somebody mentioned Google at a discount. I mean, that's investor talk, and this is not we're day traders. This stream is for day traders, so I'm not saying that Google is not at a discount, but I don't use any of those metrics. Like, you're probably looking at PE ratios and like cash flow statements and balance sheets. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for that. I like to just look at the charts. But yes, maybe Google is at a discount. I don't know. And from a day trading standpoint, I certainly don't care. We're not here as day traders to trade discounts. So I have to show you this trade. You know what? Let me just show it. I caught it on video, so it will be in a live trade segment, which is another playlist on the channel. But this is what... Oh, I mean, I had to step away for a little bit. And I did take some more trades, but I did have to step away because this was brutal this morning. Absolutely brutal. Where was it? Yeah. Let me... All right. Can everybody... Yes, everybody... Okay, everybody can see the video here. So let me fast... So right here... Let me set up the context here. Chart was looking like this. I alerted this into our private community. So if you're not a member of the private community, you should definitely get in there and sign up. I'll just show you that real quick so you can see. I know. Sure you did, Clay. Sure you alerted your community. Oh, I never... All right, I got to do this. I'm wondering why the numbers... Man, my life is in shambles right now. What am I doing? That's unacceptable. I know better. I got to... Let me let people know that I'm live. But... And I'm going to show you this trade that it's going to make you just laugh at me big time. So let me get this done real quick. Boom. Boom. I like this group. You guys are patient with me. Earlier I had some mic issues. Everybody was very helpful, very polite in helping me work through that. And right now you're being very, very polite. So I don't know. For some reason I was always kind of a little skeptical, like scared, like, oh man, are there like a bunch of savages on YouTube? But then it kind of dawned on me, like, even if there are, who cares? Because, I mean, it's YouTube. And then... And then also, like, I mean, yeah, it's YouTube, so, like, why would you care? But I was wrong. I mean, I've had to block 2 people so far. So that's not too bad. Not too bad, or at least I don't think that's too bad. So thank you for your patience in that. All right. Again, $5 super chats will make me see your requests or questions. I'm seeing the chat box kind of get a bunch of messages in there, but I can't just stop for like kind of any random one, or else I'm going to keep derailing myself from the points and stuff I'm trying to show. But I will if it's a $5. $5 ones directly will bring my attention to it right away. Okay, there we go. So the trade. So what I was saying earlier was, I know some people are like, you didn't do that. You're just saying you did. Fair enough, fair enough. So right here is our private community. And you can see right here. Now, I alerted on the MNQ. I took the NQ trade, but their charts are one and the same. So right here, alerted the bear pennant. So keep in mind what it's looking like right there. There is the line. So that alert was made to the community. And I really hope some of you did this. So that was the alert made. And let's see how I played it. All right, let's find it. No. Oh, it's got to be somewhere around here. Okay, this is, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I can see it. I can see it. All right, I can already see the trend line starting to form right there. So that's where that's going to be coming from. It's not in there quite yet, but it's forming. It's taking shape. So I'm guessing I'll pause the video and then it'll be there. Okay, there we go. So here we go. Look at this. There's a trend line. Failure back downwards. It's time to get this party started. You can see my cursor is right there to sell the ask, which means I'm getting short. For those of you, we had somebody yesterday that didn't understand shorting, so it always reminds me to tell people going short means you want to see prices go down. So if you've heard somebody say they're shorting or going short, that means they want the prices to go down, and you actually sell first to enter the trade, and then you buy to exit. I know first time you hear it, it's like, what did this guy just say? But just to keep it simple right now, if you go short, you want to see prices go down. So I'm about to go short by selling, and then let's see how this happens. Oh, whoops, I gotta... Okay. Okay, I'm in. Okay. Okay, and I'm out. Okay. So I just made $200 in all of, I don't know, was that maybe 3-4 seconds? So I got 10 points, and I'm thinking, nice, 10-point move on an NQ. I'll take 10 points in, 3 or 4 seconds any day. Any day I'll take it. And then let's just watch what happens. Because remember, I literally just got out, okay? I just got out. 1001, 1002, 1003. Oh, so okay. So if I held 3 seconds longer, look at that move. And it was at this point where I'm like, all right, I need to be done trading for now. I am not mentally capable. My mic fell over. So that's why this is going on. I'm sitting here knocking over my mic like I was telling earlier. You guys helped me out with the mic. New setup. So I'm knocking over my mic. I don't even know what any of that stuff is. And look at that move. Look at that move. 3 seconds longer. Oh, if I had just held 3 seconds longer. So please, somebody in the private community, I hope somebody took that trade, and I hope somebody held for 3 seconds longer. I mean, look at that. And let's just go back and watch this. Ridiculous. Okay, so I'm in, and look at this. I took the break right there, blue line, nice break of it. And this is, in my mind, like I said, hey, 10 points that quick, I'll take it. So I'm out, And then 1001, 1002, 1003. Yeah, basically 2.5, 3 seconds. Look at that. So if you've ever been there where you miss a monster trade by seconds, I'm with you too. It's not the first time this has happened to me. Won't be the last. But unbelievable. Herod Joseph, I need to come back and trade with you. Huh? Come on. Come on in. So that was just an absolutely brutal. Now, I did come back later. I made some more trades. But yeah, that one sent me off my rocker for a little bit. And it really just shows how the market is kind of a weird, greedy place. Because I was totally not happy at all with making $200 in like 3 seconds. Like what world are people living in? We're like, oh, I made $200 in 3 seconds. I'm not happy. Well, this world right here. Look at that thing. And I mean, those of you that have been on live streams, you've seen how I can move my stop loss down. Like, it's very realistic that I could have a stop loss in this thing like down here. I could be up like 40, 50 points. Realistically, this thing never really snapped back up. But anyways, so that is how my morning went on that right there. You can see it came all the way down here before bouncing back upwards. But like I said, made some more trades. So I'm doing just fine, but that trade was absolutely brutal. Clay, I have a question. I started my prop test yesterday and almost at 50% profit goal. Do I have to trade for the first? Yeah, you have to go for at least 5 days. But each of those 5 days, do not make more than 50% of your profit goal. But yeah, the test goes. So after you've passed your profit goal, though, then all you'll want to do is like find out 1 micro and then just buy and sell real quick. So you're either like making $2 or losing $2. That way you log a trade in and then that counts as a day. All right, so where are we at here? Where are we at? So if this thing comes up more, I could see potentially a short right there with the stop over the high. And you have a very, very tight risk. And then if it starts to come down, even to that trend line without ever breaking it, relative to what's being risked in the first place. And there it is right there. Not that the trend line even needs to be the price target. Again, relative to what was being risked. I mean, you could have already scalped out a little bit on that one. And now you're pretty much at break even. Yeah, there it goes. Well, 5 days, that's long. Incorrect. Let me show you why you're being long compared to what? Mitchell? Like, what do you mean 5 days, that's long? Compared to what? Relative to what? If you are enjoying, well, congrats if everybody took that trade right there. Man, there it is, right at the trend line. So do you see how much, like I said, for those of you that were here, the entry point was basically right about there. And your stop loss was up there, give or take. So that's small. If you picture this as a box, so there's your little risk box down even at the trend line before it even is breaking through it. I mean, look at that. That's what, about at least 2 to 1. So yeah, congrats if anybody took that. Yeah, okay, Mitchell, exactly. So you're not understanding right because, let me go to this slide. So Mitchell's saying, well, 5 days, that's a long time for a test. Yeah, well, look at this, Mitchell. So take profit trader. You do have a test phase of 5 days. But then the ultimate goal, though, for prop firms is, well, when can I actually get paid? When do I make money? And with take profit trader, yeah, the test phase is 5 days. But right there is your pro account, and you could get paid on day 1. Therefore, if you played things perfectly, Mitchell, with Take Profit Trader, you could start to get money put into your account within 6 days. But let's look at Apex, right? Because that's the one where people are like, oh, Apex. Yes, to be fair, with Apex, you can pass in 1 day, or as they call it, the evaluation phase. You can make one trade, pass it in 1 day. But what they're not necessarily telling you, and I'm not saying this makes them a scammer or anything like that. I'm just saying people like Mitchell don't understand this, and they're like kind of hook, line, and sinker. But when it comes to the what they call performance account, that's at least 8 days. So if you played things perfectly with Apex Trader, you don't get paid until, best case scenario, 9 days. So yes, the test phase, Mitchell, well, geez, that's a long time at 5 days. Right here, Mitchell, this is what you are not understanding. So yes, it is longer, and maybe it does cost a little bit more. But within the bigger picture, the big picture and the ultimate goal being to get paid, Take Profit Trader, I mean, well ahead of these other ones. So FYI, Mitchell, there we go. That's why, no, it's not long. So hopefully that makes sense, Mitchell. Let's go back. Oh, there's Pam's plan. Who knows what Pam's plan is? Pam's plan is undefeated so far. Clay, are you on the 5-minute time frame? No, this is the 2-minute time frame, but I am watching the 5-minute off screen. I have multiple monitors. If you are enjoying, let's hit that like. Could we get up to 50 likes? Let's do that. Let's get up to, okay, we're already a little past 30 minutes. But can we get up to halfway? Hit some likes if you're here. Let's try to get this up to 50. And did anybody take that trade right there? Did anybody get short with that minimal risk? And then you got the move down? Congratulations if you did. Let's see. Is there a difference between sell market or sell ask? Yes. Sell the market means you're selling the market, meaning you're going to sell at any price. So in other words, you're going to hit the bid. Sell ask means basically a limit order. The limit order is you're only one to sell at the offer. There we go, 44 likes. Very good, very good. So is anybody here never traded? If you have never heard of futures or you don't know what futures are, hit the number 5. If you've never traded futures or you don't know what futures are, hit the number 5. I'm curious where the audience stands right now in this regard. Little disappointing on that trend line though. Not a whole lot of separation, but given given the setup we had, doesn't really matter. And that's why I like that setup, because didn't matter what happened at the trend line. So if the entry was up here, just the mere fact that it came down to the trend line, that was still plenty of wiggle room. Really? I'm not hearing any seeing any 5s. So everybody here knows what futures are, huh? All right. All right, well, we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, so on the 5 minutes, it's really just a question of that line right there is a 21 EMA. Notice how the 21 EMA right now is just being a very big thorn in the side of the bulls. Now, if you're a bear, if you're a short, you're loving this 21 EMA. So, I mean, one potential thought process here, do you just get short in this range right here? And this just, this is not advice, it's just my thought process. Have a stop somewhere up around here. So if let's just say you're short right there, there is your risk if we picture that as a box. But if this thing can go down and revisit those lows, so let's go green. So if we can revisit these lows down here, and then if we turn this into a box, notice how your risk box is quite a bit bigger than, or excuse me, how your reward box is quite a bit bigger than your risk box. So that's one way I'm sure some people are looking at it. Does this thing want to roll back over? But a good little risk versus reward there. Rory, just equities, web, spin of truth. Yeah, Rory. So I'm guessing, Rory, web, spin of truth. I'm guessing for you guys, the pattern day trading rule is probably very, very annoying. Or to anybody out here that trades stocks and options, pattern day trading rule, extremely, extremely annoying. So then, this is what it's looking like on the 2 minute here. Again, short anywhere, around here, stop up above that 21 EMA that we just saw on the 5 minute. But these are just some general thoughts. But you really do have to like the risk versus reward from that scenario. Now, if you think to be fair, if you're like, what are you talking about? I think this is a bull flag. We have that right here. We have that right here, or bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. I think this thing's getting ready to head back upwards. Well, then yeah, you wouldn't want to take that trade. But if you're like, I'm not quite sure. It is in a downtrend. It is seemingly getting hung up here. I think this bull pennant is going to fail to the downside. Well, yeah, maybe you want to take that trade from the short side. My only point is you have a very well-defined stop loss on this trade. Is there a R&R box function on Tradovate? If so, how? I don't know. If there is, I don't know where it's at. I have another question. If I do get funded, do you have a trade journal website that works well for futures? Take Profit Trader has a built-in like trade journal type stuff, which makes it really nice. So we're looking at the 5-minute right now. And yeah, we're seeing if this thing wants to indeed make a break to the downside. But it's hard to, I don't know. What do people think? Is this thing getting ready to head back up or down? What do people think? Like I said, I have no problem acknowledging the fact there is indeed a little bit of a bull pennant here. My concern is the bull pennant occurring in a downtrend. So if that, I can see that breaking to the downside. I don't think anybody would be shocked by that. But yeah, maybe this thing is about to be like, no. This is a genuine bull pennant. We're getting ready to start to reverse back around. Again, that's totally possible. That's why stop losses, that's why risk control needs to be the forefront of any trade plan. So Mitchell, did my explanation about how you're a little bit deceived by the other companies, does that make sense now? About, whoa, that's a long time for 5 days? Does that make sense, Mitchell? After that explanation? It makes sense. All right, good. Looking for a pop into the 70s on ES to take more lows. Okay. We are looking at the MNQ here. If I could look to the right. Yeah, exactly, Rory. That is, yes, Mitchell. Yep. So just get ready to take those profits a little bit more aggressive. But it stops following you. Dennis Hudson, I've been watching you for a while and enjoy it. I'm not a day trader, but occasionally make small trades within my Roth. This stuff looks intriguing, but I'm no good at it. Pam's plant, the argument for futures is definitely for the category of somebody looking to day trade. And again, as a reminder, if anybody did get short up in kind of that mid-range when I was talking about it, I'm not, and again, this is not advice, but my conclusion was not, you're not allowed to take any contracts off until it hits these lows. My point was that, worst case, even if it were to go down there and double bottom off of there, by the time it would do that, you'd already have so much wiggle room. But I mean, there's absolutely no problem if you're at, 5 micros or, whatever you're trading. No shame in scaling out on the way down. Isn't there a little V pattern or a little inverted head and shoulders? I don't know what a V pattern is. I don't know what it is. I've never been good at head and shoulders and inverted head and shoulders, honestly. Like, that's the one thing I've never been able to really visualize as a technical trader. Especially the inverse head and shoulders. I have no idea what you're talking about. I've heard of V-shaped recoveries, but I've never heard of V patterns. Maybe they're one and the same thing. Come on, can we get this up to 50? 2 more likes. We got 2 more likes out there, right? So again, what we're watching here on this one, for those of you that were here, 7 minutes ago, mapped out how we did have a nice risk versus reward here. How do you scale out? Aren't your stops messed up then? Well, no, if you have, so if our stop was up there for 5, so let's just say 5, and then right there, because you want to scale out, you're like, all right, let me scale out 1 right there. So now you took out 1. All you would do is cancel, put in a new stop for 4. There you go. So yes, do you have to be there? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's scripts and stuff that you could use. Wow, boom, just like that, 61. Weren't we just at 48? And now we're at 61? I like this group. Little light on the super chats, but I think maybe everybody must have spent their money at the vending machine. So yeah, that's how you would do it, Ken. Again, I don't know if there's a script that could do it automatically. So yes, you would have to be at your computer to watch it. That is true. But um, but so I guess yes. To answer your question, they would be messed up, correct? But the solution to the mess up is very straightforward. Rory swing trades because you're not. Well, let me ask. Do you like swing trading because you can't day trade because of the pattern day trading rule, Rory? Is that why you like to swing trade? Tradeovate has ATM settings where you can set your scaling. Yeah, that's true, but I don't know if they have like automatic. What Ken's asking is, well, if you have your stop at 5 and then you take one out, now your position size is only 4. I'm not sure if the ATM is smart enough to know, okay, now we have to make it 4. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But that's what Ken was actually asking, was more so, how does all that work? Did anybody take the trade? Can you set a trailing stop with this? Yeah, you can set trailing stops. Yep. More partially, yes. Okay, well that's the thing with futures, Rory, is a lot of people are in Rory's spot. Nice. So if you're in this, I mean, obviously it's your trade plan. But I mean, do you start to bring down your stop now? Because at this point, you definitely don't want this turned into a losing trade. Like, it's gone too much in your favor. You know, again, assuming you got up around here where I was talking about, you know, originally putting out the trade plan. So I'd say you'd probably at least want to bring your trade down to break even, or your stop loss, excuse me, at least down to. But that's just, you know, I'm just thinking out loud. Because if it were me, I would not. I would not sit well with me to get a move like this, and then to have that trade still ultimately turn into a losing trade. So if it were me, I'd probably have my stop loss at break even, if not even a little bit ahead of it, to ensure. I mean, at this point, you even put it above that candle right there, and make sure that it's. I don't know, just thinking out loud here. I'm short for 5 micros. Nice. The doctor info. Very good. So where's your stop loss at right now? So the doctor info got short up around here as I was talking about it, and he is just, he's writing it down. But again, some people are like, no, I'm gonna use that 21 EMA all the way down. I get that. Again, it's just really just how aggressive do you want to be with your stop. But at this point, anybody that took the trade, it should be a winning trade regardless. Assuming you took off some down here, which, you know, if you scaled out a little bit. Good job. So anyways, Rory is saying that he trades stocks, but he's doing swing trading. And I said, well, is part of the reason why you're doing swing trading because you really kind of don't have any other choice because when you don't have $25,000, they limit your day trades and all that sort of stuff. And again, let me ask real quick, because who here trades? I'm just actually going to say it because I know a lot of people can't actually type. They're just watching. But this next statement I'm going to make is going to be very. It may rub you the wrong way. It may offend you. But all I'm asking is to hear out Pam's plant. Okay, that's all I'm asking, because Pam's plant so far is undefeated. Nobody has been able to defeat Pam's plant. So my statement is this. Very nice. Look at that, continuing to come down. Well, Rory, is it a day trading problem? Like, do you have more than $25,000? Most people are like, I don't have $25,000, therefore I fall under the pattern day trading rule. Therefore, I'm not allowed to day trade as much as I want. Frank, Pam's. Remember, Pam's got 2 S's on it. But anyways, so this is going to be very, very offensive to some of you. If you are in the category of day trader and you are trading stocks, options, Forex, or crypto, you are wasting your time. You are trading pieces of garbage, okay? Pieces of garbage, and you are wasting your time. Now, hear me out. Hear out Pam's plant, and as I go through Pam's plant, I welcome disagreements. I welcome you to challenge. But please challenge Pam's plant. Don't challenge me. Don't attack me. So, for example, some people have been like, well, you're a con man. You're a scammer. You don't know how to trade. You don't make any money trading. You don't even trade. You insert any sort of negative thing. And let's just assume all those are true about me, okay? But that's me. That's not Pam's plant. So attack Pam's plant. Argue against Pam's plant. Don't come at me because I'll just kick that to the curb right now. Let's assume anything negative about me. I'm a scumbag, salesman, scammer, con man, all that. All the above. That is true about me. But now let's focus on Pam's plant, okay? So Pam's plant. The reason why Pam's plant is amazing right here. So if you're in the world of stocks and options and you don't have $25,000, you fall under the pattern day trading rule, which states that you only get 3 day trades every 5 days. A day trade being you buy and sell in the same day. You only get 3 of those. You're only allowed to do that 3 times every 5 days. In the world of futures trading, there is no pattern day trading rule. The A, they're open basically around the clock. Now, they're not open on Saturdays, but for argument's sake, they're open essentially around the clock. So if you have a busy schedule, that's okay. There's always going to be a moment where you can find some time to trade them. The A, the movement. They move. They have great movement, but better yet, your ability to control it is very, very beneficial. And I'll show you that here with some live trades because I want to show some of you that are maybe new, hey, how does it work? Like how much movement is there? And I want to show you exactly that. I'm going to show you the bare minimum so that you can see and then show you how you can influence, how you can control the movement yourself. The first S, short whenever. I know some people are like, well, I want to trade penny stocks. I want to short micro caps because there's the movement, all this sort of stuff. Well, that's great. But the problem is you have to locate shares. Then you have to pay extra fees to locate those shares. And then these are very volatile stocks, very volatile situations where one spike to do a whole lot of damage, which when we consider the plant, you're going to see the quote unquote whole lot of damage isn't actually going to be there. The second S, stop scanning. If you're doing, cryptos or stocks, you got to wake up. Let me find the hot stocks today. Let me find the hot cryptos. Let me, run my scans. None of that. None of that in the world of futures, because you know what you're going to trade, and every day you look at the same thing because that same thing every day gives you multiple opportunities. So save time. You don't have to go out there and pay for scanners. I feel bad for all these companies that have developed scanners and they're marketing scanners. And here I am. I'm like, nope, sorry. I'm going to try to take all your customers and convert them to futures because Pam's plant. Pam's plant is just better than what you're trying to get them to do by using your scanners and, isolating them in the world of stocks, which is just no. So now we move on to the plant, and that is where prop firm power comes into place. What is a prop firm? Well, at the core, a prop firm is something that allows you to put very little of your money at risk, and then you have a whole lot of upside potential, as I'm going to explain here. So the L, low capital required. Let me show you what I mean. This is the prop firm who I use and who I would recommend. So low capital required. If you want $25,000 worth of purchasing power, it would cost you $105. Now, part of a prop firm is you have to first prove yourself, but after you prove yourself by passing a test, then you move into what's called a pro account. And then when you're in the pro account, money that you make, you can start to request right to your bank account. So what is this test? Well, with the $25,000, if you have that purchasing power, then the goal is the test, you got to be able to make $1,500. However, you are not allowed to lose $1,500. And you have a month to do so. And I say you have a month because you can take as long as you want, but I would say get it done within a month. That way you don't have to pay the $105 again. And the nice thing is, after you pass the test and go into the pro account, there are no more monthly fees. So that's why I say get it done within a month. Maybe you're saying, well, I've never made $1,500 in a month. I'm brand new. Well, with futures, as you're about to see, they move and they can move very quickly. So $1,500 is not unrealistic at all. In fact, for those of you that have been, watching the live streams, was it last week, a couple weeks ago, we passed already a couple of these, and one took like 5 days. I think one took like 3 days. The other took like 5 days. So it is definitely possible, but it's not like you have to do it in 5 days, but that's how it works. But if you do lose more than $1,500, then we'll get to that here with some of the next letters. But so that's how it's working. And then the A, and this is the best one, added risk control, which comes in 2 forms. The first form is during these tests, when you have these and you're working with the prop firms, they do put rules upon you. They are self-imposing rules upon you, but I argue this is a good thing because these rules make you focus on what actually matters as a trader. People show up, all they think about is how much money can I make, the fancy stuff, and that stuff's fine, but what trading actually is all about is not how much money you can make. A blind, drunk monkey can make money. Trading is about what you do when you're wrong. How do you handle that? How do you manage risk? And the rules are going to focus or force you to focus on risk control, risk management. make you think through that stuff. That is a good thing. Those are the sorts of rules you need as a trader, and they are going to self-impose them on you, and that is a good thing. And then the second way is you protect your own money. So going back here, as I was saying, if you do something stupid during the test and you lose your mind, you revenge trade, you go on tilt, whatever, or maybe just get stuck in a crazy move, right? We've all been there, and that goes back to even like people, I want to short penny stocks, I want to short micro caps, I want to short small, and then you get stuck in some sort of short squeeze, and it goes, and who knows, maybe you lose $1,500, and yeah, you lose $1,500 here, but remember, that's not what your cost is. Your cost is only, or your risk is only what the cost of the account was, which was $105. So yes, you would have, quote unquote, failed the test, which you can always try again. But I would rather have a, whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. I would rather have that sort of situation cost me $105 as opposed to $1,500, right? Because you can survive a whole lot longer with, oops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. You can learn a lot more if it's each of those moments are only costing you $105 as opposed to $1,500. So right there is a baked-in risk control. Is you're not putting a lot of your money at risk. And then again, like I said, if you pass, then you go to the pro accounts. It's not like you have to pay any more, especially with this next deal. There's no activation fee. So right there, you could start to make thousands of dollars when you only had $105 to begin with. Now, yes, you got to know what you're doing and all that. But like I said, going back to the added risk control, and you can protect your own money. And then nuclear explosion growth via copy trading. So Take Profit Trader, they will allow you to have up to 5 pro accounts, and then you can copy them. So for example, if you take one trade on one account, and let's say you make $500 on it, well, you could copy that to those 4 other ones. So in other words, sure, you only made that one trade for $500, but if you copied it to those other ones, you technically made it 5 times. So you made $500 with the one trade, but because you copied it, you're actually walking away with $2,500, right? $500 times 5 accounts, $2,500. Now, of course, that can work against you very quickly if you don't know what you're doing, but that's what I mean. You can grow very, very quickly with that copy trading. And then the T, tax reporting is easy. There's nothing fancy. All it is a 1099. That's all you do. Take Profit Trader will send you a 1099 form, and that's all you give your accountant. Poof, just like that. Done. So Pam's Plant. Again, maybe I offended you by saying that you're wasting your time, you're trading garbage. Again, as a day trader, if you're in stocks, options, crypto, or Forex, but you are more than welcome to try to push back against this, to try to, where's Pam's Plant wrong? Clay, I have a question. You have been around for a long time. Why are you not into options anymore and now doing futures trading? I've been following. Okay, Sandra, I'm guessing you asked this question before I started talking about Pam's Plant, but to answer your question, Pam's Plant. That is why. That is exactly why. Pam's Plant. If I rather just trade a personal futures account, who do you recommend? Capital is not a problem for me. I just rather trade at my own time and rules. Yeah, I would still go with Tradeovate. I just read you can only have 5 accounts. Do not other firms have 20 accounts? I mean, yes, other firms you can like up to 20, but they also have way more complicated rules. You cannot get paid as often as you want. And that's one of the big things with Take Profit Trader that I like is other prop firms. And this does not make them a scam, but when you start making money in their pro accounts or whatever they call them, you cannot request money as soon as you make it. You have to wait certain periods of time. And then a lot of them will be like, but you can only request up to, let's say, $2,000. Even though you made $10,000, you're only allowed to request $2,000. But with Take Profit Trader, they're like, no, if you made $2,000, you can request payments as often as you want and in any amount. So again, sure, Take Profit Trader is a little bit, and it's slightly more expensive up front, but for the back end flexibility, to me, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, Sandra, eventually you will go live. Yep. Can you deduct your eval fees from your 1099? I'm not a CPA. Don't ask me, huh? Come on. Don't be asking tax questions to me, or to anybody on the internet for that matter. I appreciate the confidence, but I'm not getting into that. Talk to a local tax authority. Oh, you dirty dog. Oh, wait, this is the 2-minute. Where'd the 5-minute go? Well, it never went down and really hit the low. I was curious where this one was ultimately going to. So it got low. So still would have been. I mean, really, in all actuality, do you try the trade again? You could just do it all over again if you think this is some sort of range. Do you get short basically right here? Stop not too far away. Oh, I didn't mean it to be up that high. There we go. Stop. Okay, I still, yeah. You get the idea. Somewhere up around here. So your risk box very minimal, but if this thing decides to roll back over, I mean, you could be looking at it all over again. So from a risk reward standpoint, I don't know. That depends on your thoughts, but I could see that making some sense. But it is your account. It is your decisions. Jalil, hey Clay, just signed up for the 25. Can I do futures on ESM5? Yeah, if you want to trade ES, that's fine. That's fine. Hopefully, Jalil, you used the link. It supports the channel. Can you copy trade from a pro account to an eval account? I don't know what you mean by that, Force Fed. Can you copy trade from a pro account to an eval account? Yeah, again, like I said, do you get short like somewhere right around here? I mean, even, or, basically just general area, and then you have a very, stop loss, I don't know, somewhere up here. And then even if it just goes down there, I mean, even if it just retests the 50 period, I mean, check that out. Even if it just tests the 50 period, look at our risk boxes. So if this is the risk box, and then this is the reward box. I mean, you guys understand shapes. That's still a nice, and that's only the 50 period moving average. So if you get more than through the 50 period, you could be looking at a real good situation. I don't know, depending on where you got in, do you even need the 50? Maybe you take some off. I don't know. Like I said, just throwing out some general ideas. Nothing's guaranteed to work, but I would certainly not cause you a degenerate gambler. Like, it doesn't seem like you're thinking through your trade plans. No, I can totally see what you're thinking there. I can see it. Doesn't mean it'll work, but I would not accuse you of just doing stuff randomly. When you go to pro and you decide you want to open another account, you'll have to test again with that account. Yes. So could you copy from your pro to the new account so you have to test in? I don't know. I don't know, Force. Sounds like you can then. Yeah, there is a buffer, Sandra. Yeah, you got to get up to buffers and stuff like that. That's why I also like the test account, because a test account, it's like, all right, you proved that you can do it. So then you can have confidence. You just, keep on doing what you've been doing. But Sandra, I mean, it sounds like you're loaded. So if like capital's not an issue for you, then you might as well go and just trade your own money. Some people would disagree. We have people in our community that also have a lot of capital. They don't need to trade prop firms, but their logic goes like this. Why would I ever use my own capital? Because the markets, no matter what market you're in, they can make crazy moves. So they're thinking, why would I go use my own capital when I can get $150,000 for $252? Why would I ever use my own capital? Because they understand, like I said, spikes happen, and you get one of those spikes, and it costs you $4,500. Well, for the person with a lot of capital, it still costs them $4,500 of their own money. But for the person that's using the prop firm, it only costs them $252. So sure, they failed the test phase here, but at only an expense of $252. And if you have a lot of capital and you know what you're doing, like I said, again, I'm not saying this is like the no-brainer. I'm just saying some people in my community that do have a lot of capital, this is their argument, this is their train of thought of, yeah, I don't care that I have plenty of capital to still trade. Why risk, $4,500 of my money when it would just cost me $252? So just something to consider, Sandra. But like I said, that is definitely the thought process that some people use. All right, well, we're at a pretty interesting area because from a long side standpoint, I can also see long saying, I like this ascending triangle here, boy. Hey, boy, how come you're not talking about the ascending triangle? Fair enough, I'm talking about it right now. I actually just broke through the ascending triangle. So for those people, well, let's see. Do they get follow through on the ascending triangle breakout? Ascending triangle is a bullish pattern. Actually, for those of you on the live stream yesterday, we took an ascending triangle pattern. It worked out very well. Do you keep eval profits? No. Nope. That would not be a sustainable business model for them. I had some, somebody threw the complaint. Well, so then what's in it for you during the eval? And it's like, that's a fair question. What's in it for you is you moving into the pro account. That's how you profit during the eval. You profit by getting moved into the pro account where you can start to make real money and then get paid that real money. And that real money that you have the, you know, the access that to potentially make is well more than what you have on the line. ES 5 minute looks like it's going to move up. Yeah, let me take a look at it. I mean, I hear ya on the ES. I would argue it's already kind of made a move up quite a bit. Does it have more in it? Maybe, but I would be nervous. So that trade right there, again, a good example of why, and I don't know if anybody even took it, but when I was talking about, I don't know, the price was somewhere up around here. It did move down a little bit. So that's why I'm a big believer in at least locking in some profits, because even if it comes down here, remember, when you lock in profits, when you're, scaling out, not only are you, mitigating risk, so your risk is going down in two ways. The first way is, well, you are putting some profits in your pocket. So that's a good thing. The second way your risk is being minimized is now your position size is shrinking. So you have reduced risk via you are just flat out putting money in your pocket by locking in some profits, but you're also reducing your position size. So when moves like this happen, yeah, it still may have been, depending on how people played it, maybe a slight losing trade, but not by much, if a losing trade. I mean, I could see a lot of people just being break even or something, because again, if you pulled some out right there, you put some money in your pocket, you reduce position size, and then when it moved like that, yeah, a bummer, but still a situation where you would have, not gotten smacked too hard. A little bit, Sandra, but it stops doing that after you hit once you get your cushion, it doesn't follow you anymore. So you're good to go. Paula Bear. Again, for everybody here, $5 super chats. If you want me to take a look at one of your positions, give some thoughts, or if you have a question or comment that you want me to see right away, because I don't want to come across as rude and think that I'm ignoring you, but the chat box is getting it somewhat. I'm trying to keep up, but the other risk is I may not get to your comment or your question or whatever until like 20 minutes after you ask it. So will you still be here? I don't know. Same with the request. Hey, can you take a look at my Apple? Can you take a look at Apple, or can you take a look at whatever? I can do that, but... And if you do have a request, like I said, let me know. I'm just saying that the only way I'm going to guarantee that I look at it or get to it right away is with the $5 super chat. We are stuck at 5. This is a rough one here. So I am potentially interested in taking a trade on the short side up 35, yeah. Hey, Clay, how much is commission each trade for the test? I can never, let me just show you. Let's see. Commissions, right there. So, for a micro, it's 25 cents to buy, 25 cents to sell. So your overall is 50 cents. And then with the minis, the very volatile ones, $2.50 to buy, $2.50 to sell per contract, so just $5. Again, if you are enjoying, make sure to hit that like button. Only 30 away from 100. Let's keep the streak going. Let's get this up to 100. So yeah, right now, question of, does the price is the 5 minute, does it come up and get it rejected right there at that 50 period moving average? Hey, Joseph. If anyone here, has anyone here never actually seen a futures trade play out? If you've never seen a futures trade like actually take place, hit the number 5 in the chat box. Is this really live? Yes. Fantastic. Okay. Again, if you've never seen a futures trade actually take place, hit that number 5. Hey, Chad. Who is Chad? I do not know this Chad you speak of. I didn't quite get up there. Oh, you're calling me Chad? I was gonna say Chad. Maybe I don't know. I thought maybe did you see? Is there a Chad in the chat room that you knew and recognized? All right. Well, we have a couple people. So what I want to show you is let's go back to Pam's plant. Do you trade on this live stream? Yes, I'm about to trade on this live stream. Look at yesterday. Go watch yesterday's live stream, Sandra, if you want to see that Clown Fiesta. By the way, I posted on Facebook for anybody that was on yesterday's Clown Fiesta live stream. I did actually go back green. I closed the day at like $400, I think $48. But yes, I do trade live. But the point of this live stream is not necessarily to, because a lot of people are like, they'll trade. But I'm here, I'm trying to more so educate people, and I'm trying to bring people into futures. Because I think futures are just the way to go. From the day trading standpoint, stocks, options, crypto, Forex are pure garbage and a pure waste of people's time because of Pam's plant. Pam's plant is where it's at. But yeah, for the people that have never traded, what I'd like to show you is the M here. So of Pam's plant, the movement and ability to control it. Because I understand a criticism right now that still is against Pam's plant as well. Clay, you've walked us through Pam's plant. Okay, I get it. Pretty persuasive, but like, you talked about the movement, but I haven't seen the movement. I can't dictate whether or not the movement is good enough for me. So let me show you what this movement can look like. So I'm going to go. So right now, the way futures work, little lesson is, and I would recommend this. For those of you that I'm trying to convince to come over to futures, start with the MNQ. The MNQ, do not start with the NQ. The NQ has a whole lot of movement. It's very volatile, but the M stands for micro. So it'll be less movement, which does mean less gains, but it also does mean less risk. And that's what you need to focus on when you're first just getting started in futures. But I want to show you the bare minimum. So we're doing the less volatile type of contract, and I'm only going to do one of them. So this is the bare minimum that you could expect within the world of futures. All right. I'm not saying this is the best trade, but like I said, what I want you to look at down here is this number right there. Okay, yeah. And I just want you to ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number is fluctuating, okay? So let me just buy the bid right here. Okay, there we go. Now watch that number and ask yourself how you feel about it fluctuating. Now, if you're watching that number and being like, what is that? That is ridiculously slow. No problem. I'm not offended. Totally get it. The solution, and remember, Pam's plant, movement, but the ability to control it. How do you control it? Well, you could come up here and raise that number up. The higher that number goes, the more movement you're going to get within that number right there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let me just get a stop loss in. There we go. Now this is for sure a winning trade. So now how much, or I guess we'll watch it and then just ask, remember, this is at 1. So this is the nice thing about the platform. Let's move it up some more. Make sure this is winning. Come on, keep bounce for me some more. Come on now. Come on, boy. There we go. There we go, boy. Give me that volatility, boy. Are my buddies here that like that? Come on, boy. Give me some of that volatility. Keep coming up, boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Again, just watch that number. That's the number you should be watching. Come on, push up some more. There we go. There we go. Let's move up my stop loss some more. There's Mad Matt. Give me that volatility, boy. What you doing here, boy? Get a little bit more volatile. Thank you. Thank you. Come again. And I'm out. Okay. Now, to be fair, if you're watching that number and being like, dude, like, you made like, I don't even know what I made, like $22, whatever it was. You made $22. I get it. I get it. But again, Pam's plant, not only movement, but the ability to control it. So like I said, if that was way too slow, you could have changed that number. Now, how high could you have changed that number? Well, let's take a look at within the prop firm world, the one I'm using and recommending. And let's just assume, again, we're assuming like the far end of the spectrum of the bare minimum volatility. So the bare minimum you could get at Take Profit Trader is the $25,000 purchasing account for the $105. And then it tells you what is that $25,000 getting you. So that number that you saw at 1, which again was the less volatile contract and only 1, I could have changed that number up to 30. Up to 30. So do you see what I mean about control? If you were not happy with what you saw there with just the bare minimum one, you could have changed up to 30. But maybe saying, boy, are you listening to me or not, boy? I said I want that movement. I want that volatility, boy. All right, fine. The other end of the spectrum, again, is you could get a $150,000 account for the 250. And that one that you saw there could have been moved up as high as 150. Okay, so do you see what I mean about the movement, but then more importantly, the ability to control the movement? And I get it in the world of, well, Clay, that's not different than stocks. In stocks, you could just add another share. Okay, that's fair enough. But like with Tesla, let's just say, because that's a popular one, if you want to add another share, how much is another share going to cost you? Oh, basically $228. Like, do you have $228 extra to just add one share? And remember, adding one share means that if Tesla moves $1 in your favor, you get $1, right? So it's going to cost you $228. Whereas what did we just talk about with the prop firm stuff? Because again, the L of Pam's plant, low capital required. What is it costing you to scale up more? Nothing, because it's all into play. That 250 is giving you a max of that. Whereas if you want to add more with stocks, well, you literally need to pay more. Here, you're not paying more. It's a one-time payment, and then they give you all that flexibility. Max of up to 15 of the very volatile ones, or 150 of the less volatile ones. So do you see how, I mean, why would you ever waste your time trading stocks? Just from a capital standpoint, it makes no sense. You need so much more capital. So much more capital. We're at 74 likes. Come on, let's get this up to 100. Let's do it. All right, let's see if the... So now it becomes a question of, all right, things are, we get... So let's keep in mind our context right now. Context is ascending triangle breakout. And really, in all actuality, it seems that right now, it just pretty much kind of, so there's the breakout, pull up. Now we're just basically back testing the pattern. So it's just a question of, is this going to be a back test and go? That's a question that you'll have to ask yourself and kind of analyze. What are your thoughts on it? But that's basically what's occurring right now, is pulled back, the back test. And I mean, you saw me trade it temporarily, got the bounce upwards before it came back down. But that's what's been going on right now, the back test. Now it's just a question of, will it go, right? The back test and go. Classic setup. There are no guaranteed setups, so I'm not saying it will go. But what I am saying, it is currently essentially just back testing that former breakout point of the ascending triangle. So that's the question. That's the situation that you got to ask yourself right now. Where'd my chat box go? There we go. Clay, I can't move those stop lines up and down. Well, then I don't know what to... Yeah, you can. So if I put a buy right there, you got to bring your cursor over, change it to an arrow, and then you can drag it just like that. Ragnar, now I'm thoroughly confused. What are you confused about? What are you confused about? I would be happy to clear up what you are confused about. But yeah, is this going to go? I don't mean to repeat myself, but there's constantly a new stream of people getting logged on. So there's the ascending triangle. Nice breakout there. Now, like a lot of times can happen, patterns will get back tested, which happened. It's leveling out, and it does seem to be going. Is it going to go and push up through new highs? We'll see what happens with it. But when I first started talking about this, anybody was like, I think it's going to go. Well, good job for those of you. You're in the green right now. When are you going to make a conclusive decision about your next move? What are you waiting for? I've never traded futures, so yeah, it's a little confusing. Yeah, well, what is confusing? Like, what is the it? What is confusing? When are you going to make a conclusive decision about your next move? I don't know when I'm going to make I'm just talking right now. Funktastic. I'm just giving my thoughts. Yesterday, I learned that if I start trading for the sake of the stream, then things can kind of go off the rail. So I need to find a little bit of a balance. Get out your crystal ball and conjure up some magic. Exactly. Why are you so riled up? Calm down. Oh, if you think I'm riled up right now, I would submit to you that I don't know what I would submit, but I'm as calm as I can get right now. Man, but if you think I'm not calm right now, I would make you cry when I'm not calm then. I'll just put that. And to have such a cool name, you're too soft. Ragnar Lothbrok, as in from the Viking show? You're going to take that name and you're going to be like, calm down, calm down. You can't take a Viking name like that and then like walk around all like, oh, calm down. Come on, man. Ragnar Lothbrok, I mean, talk about one of the greatest characters in all of TV history. Although, do we have any Viking historic? Was he like a real person too in Viking history? Yeah, you do need a hug. You do need a hug. But yeah, no, I mean, as far as they trade just like anything else. The only thing is, Ragnar, you don't buy shares, you buy contracts. So one contract carries quite a punch. I think you were here when I showed you what that one contract was. So let me ask you this, Ragnar. When I took that trade and you were watching that number, how did you feel about how those numbers were fluctuating? Did that feel pretty good? Was it a little too slow? But what did you think about that? My longer term 4 hour are looking a little bit more on the downside. Oh yeah, I don't use I'll factor in an hour, but I don't use a 4 hour for day trading. But yeah, very nice. Beautiful back test, and it seems to be going. I guess it all depends on how you define go. Like, has it in my mind, if you bought down here, that's a go. I mean, it went. But maybe you're saying, no, Clay, my go is it's got to break to new highs. And fair enough. Why not 4 hour? Just because I'm more of a scalper than anything. Claire, are you tracking the S&P Russell or no? That's the other. There we go. So that now it's going in all regards. So classic example. We had the ascending triangle breakout, which was called. And I'm not saying any of this to brag on myself. I'm saying it to brag about charts because I'm a big believer in charts. Are they a perfect tool? No such thing as a perfect tool. But some people like scoff. Oh, you're one of those chart guys. It's just like, no, charts aren't perfect, but I mean, they do have a role. So called out the ascending triangle breakout, came back down, threw out the question. I don't know if anybody, how they define the situation, but said, hey, if you think this is some sort of back test and it's going to go, well, then here's the back test. So for any of you that was like, yeah, no, I think this is going to be a back test and a go, then yeah, you're getting paid very nicely right now. Oh, you scalp pennies. Okay. So it seemed about par for the course. Okay. So, and the thing was par for the course, but remember, Ragnar, I showed you the bare minimum. If that number, can you imagine what those numbers would have looked like if I changed that all of a sudden to a 10? I mean, those numbers you saw would have been multiplied by a magnitude of 10. So like, if that's kind of what you're used to seeing within the world of, you say you're scalping pennies. Oh, I mean, I don't even know like what to think about that. I mean, I say this with all due respect to you. You have no idea how much you were wasting your time penny stocks. Because I mean, penny stocks barely move. Yeah, they'll move once they get volume and then they go dormant. I mean, this thing is, I mean, think about the time right now. We're at 12:31 p.m. Eastern, and look how nice. I mean, look at all these nice movements people have had an opportunity at. So yes, Ragnar, that looking at them, like par for the course. Yeah, fair enough. But like, just realize that number could have been made a whole lot more volatile down here. It could have been made a whole lot more volatile by just increasing that number right there. And if you had the bare minimum account size of the 25,000, you could have changed that number that I was pointing at. Remember this number right here, you could have changed that up as high as 30. So yeah, it would make those penny stocks look like nothing very, very quickly. So up here is VWAP. Okay. Right here, we do have an area of resistance. So I was wondering, why did it kind of get stuck right there? But we have a low right there, which was a support. And when supports are broken, and it was broken right there, they tend to act as resistance, which is what happened right there. So if I just draw a line over from there, No, I cheated on that line because it wasn't that clean. I need to make these. Oh, let me just do this. Let me just use the annotation tools that come here. So there you go. So right there, if I extend that out, see that? Little technical analysis basics there. When levels of support, so that was the low on this crazy move, but when it was broken, you would expect it to act as resistance, so bounce back up. So there's the back test, right? Broke, back test. Did this one go? Oh yeah, it back tested and it went down, but now all of a sudden that level is behaving as resistance again. So not to say that this level can't be broken, but I don't think anybody is necessarily shocked like, okay, it makes sense why the price is currently struggling at that area right there. But with a break of there, I mean, do you get up to VWAP? I'm not seeing any other areas of resistance here, so that doesn't mean that's going to go straight up to VWAP. In fact, maybe I'll get a short right here just to put on another little one so people can see kind of you found it? Okay. What tool are you using with the 25K buying power price card you were showing? So yeah, fantastic. That's a good question. So, and to anybody else, if you're like, okay, Clay, you've convinced me, I want to use this prop firm, but like what platform are you using? The other nice thing is the way it works is you sign up for a platform. So you'll sign up for Take Profit Trader, and then they will go and create the platform for you. So you don't have to sign up. You don't have to submit your ID. You don't have to go through all the hassle. We've been there, right? You sign up for a new broker, a platform, and it's like, ugh. But you don't have to do that here. They will do it for you, and then they will email you, and they'll tell you your login, your password, and then you just go and you get signed up for it. But during the checkout process, they will ask you, what platform do you want to use, what tool, and just select the one, Tradeovate. That is the one that you see here on the screen. So another little something else that's just, so actually it goes beyond Pam's Plant because, yeah, Pam's Plant does not factor in just the time savings of signing up for a new, having to sign up for a new platform. They just do it for you automatically. 83 likes. Come on, can we get 17 more? If we can get this up to 100 likes, or we'll call it $10 in super chats by an hour and 30. So we have 8 minutes. So we can get this up to, let's call it 101 likes because sometimes likes disappear. So let's make it 102. 102 likes or $10 in super chats within the next 8 minutes. Then I'll get a little bit more aggressive with the trade. And then I can show people, you know, kind of the next step up in terms of aggressiveness. Hi, Clay. Hi there, Clay. I just got it. What's going on here in short details? Our warrior, I just got it. Can you please define it for me? I'm not sure what you just got. Isn't that amazing, though? The power of charts. I mean, that level has acted as resistance, and right now it's acting once again. But that's the question right now. A little bit of a bull flag here. Does it go? It hit the 50-day on the 5-minute. It hit the 50-day? That's impossible, Mike Miller. It cannot hit the 50-day on the 5-minute. Maybe it hit the 50 period on the 5-minute, but that's not the 50-day. Because you cannot have a daily chart and a 5-minute chart at the same. I mean, maybe you could, but that's like a mathematical contradiction. All right, does it break? Does it break? Top part of the flag, you have that resistance right there. This is the question. If it does, I think there's I don't see, again, no guarantees, but does it head up to VWAP on the break? We'll have to see. Yeah, no problem, Mike. No problem. Does it break? Maybe I should just get that. There we go. Or else, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Not aggressive because we have not hit the metrics yet. But I want to see it come up, hit that line, and then, I'll try again. I got to watch my risk profile. What I'm open to doing is if it comes up, hits, and then comes back down, I will try to get short on the way back down. But it's first got to show me a failure. It's got to come up here, you know, maybe even a slight little break, and then if it comes back down, I'll be willing to get short, stop over the highs. So see if it wants to give me a potential fake break and then try to catch some to the downside. 91 likes, no super chats, but we still do have a little over 5 minutes left. So again, we got to get to 102 likes or $10 in super chats. And then 111 concurrent. Come on, let's get 4 more. And then that would be a record. My record of concurrent is 115. My new goal is 125. We'll see if it can happen. No! This is still in play. I am still interested. If it does at any point want to come up here, get up through there, and then come back down, I'm willing to short because I'll have a small little risk profile with a little bit of confirmation that maybe, just maybe, that breakout is failing. I could be, I mean, obviously I will be wrong. If it's a truly strong break and it just needed to take a little breath before moving on, then I'm taking a loss. But if I'm right and it comes on down, I could be looking at a nice little payday. Where am I, Clay? I'm in Iowa. No, not in the middle of a cornfield, though. How long does Take Private Trader take to send me an email? Just signed up. Usually, there is, you must have clicked through it. They have a message that will tell you, and usually it's like, I don't know. I don't know what the message says because usually they say something kind of crazy numbers. But usually it takes you 30 minutes. If anything, Funktastic, just talk to them in the chat box and be like, hey, I just signed up. I was wondering. And they may all of a sudden get to it right away. Did you use my link, Funktastic? Okay, now you could look to potentially, I could look to, now do you buy a break up here? Because if it comes back up here, we're going to be looking at a hammer candle. We have a nice little stop down below the 21. Okay, okay, yeah, Funktastic. Also, make sure you check your spam folders. Use your link. Thank you. Yeah, I will do that. Let's do that right there. Just, again, I'm showing this. This would be the bare minimum of volatility that you could expect, assuming I get filled. So for those that are new to futures, watch that number down there and then just ask yourself, how do you feel about that number? Because I'm about to show you the bare minimum of movement, the bare minimum of volatility that you could expect.
Stop fill.
Okay, I'm in. Let me put my stop. Oh, nice, nice. Let's just move this up to make it a winning trade. I got a quick move there. Let me move it up some more. There we go. More. Again, watch that number down there. Ask yourself, how do you feel about those numbers? If they're too slow for you, that's okay. I'll give you a solution after this trade is over. So as you watch those numbers, I'm not offended. It's totally fine for you to look at those numbers and be like, Clay, that's too slow. Let's move it up some more. Totally fine. So let's see how fast this thing wants it. If it wants to push up some more for me, and I'll just move that stop loss up with it. Come on, push up to those highs. Give me that breakout. Give me that breakout. I'm being very aggressive with the stop as an FYI, but that's just, okay, I'm going to move it up some more. Oh, so aggressive with my stop right now. All right, out there. Okay, so if you're watching those numbers and are like, no, Clay, I'm not very impressed, Clay. You said Pam's plant. Pam's plant said that there is a lot of movement. But you're not factoring in and ability to control it. So how do you control that movement? Well, the number that you saw there was a 1. And if you did the bare minimum, smallest size account that you could get, which is a 25,000 account, that number 1 that you saw there, you could have increased as high as 30. Now, maybe you're still saying, no. Boy, I said I want volatility. I want movement. Okay, on the other end of the spectrum, if you went to the biggest account, which is the 150,000, then you could have changed that number 1. You could have changed that as high as 150. So that's what I mean about if you're not happy with the movement that you just saw right there, totally fine. I just wanted to show you the bare minimum because from that point, yes, you have a whole lot of ability when you could change that 1 up to 150 if you really wanted to. But there we go. Another good little example there. New record, 118. Awesome. All right. 118. Now, would like to try to get up to 125 concurrent viewers. So right there, okay, now we are actually getting, so I'm going to keep that line out there, but we're getting a nice little, bull. So we're getting the downtrending trend line now. Now we're getting a nice little smooth move. We have that right there. So if you want, this is almost like a trend line that's drawn itself for us. Look how the price has respected it. Again, I'm just giving my thoughts. None of this is advice, okay? So everybody calm down. All right there. Been doing a good job of respecting it. Does it come down there and maybe bounce back off it? So many ways you could play this. You could try to play a bounce, because think about it. If it bounces and you get down here, even if it never breaks that trend line, you don't care because that means you'd already have plenty of wiggle room to work with. So that's something to, definitely factor in. But maybe you're like, no, but I want confirmation of strength. Right now it's pulling back. That's fair enough. Like I said, you could buy right there, because if it comes up there, you're going to have a hammer candle like I just played. Or if you want more confirmation up there, we are still at 94 likes, and it's not like we are going to make it. So I will not be getting more aggressive. 3, and we didn't get any super chats. All right, and that's fine, because like I said, this is viewer driven. I want you to tell me what you guys want to see. All right. So now think about it. People that were like, no, I want to play the bounce right here, give and take. Those people, they took a small losing trade. People are like, no, I'm only buying if it comes back up to there or a break. They didn't have a trade, but they also didn't have a losing trade. However, for those people that wanted it to wait up there, I mean, they're taking more risk in the sense of, well, what happens? These people that are buying here, they don't have any gains, yet the people that bought right here, they would have a lot of gains. But in this particular trade, the people that did decide to buy right here, for them, it was a losing trade. So there's always a give and take. There's no right or wrong way to enter a position, because sometimes the way you enter it is going to be like perfect. Other times it's going to be like, all right, good. I didn't take a trade, but it saved me from a losing trade. Other times you're going to be like, whoa, I should have just bought the bounce because I bought it literally the worst time possible. So like I said, depending on how you enter, there's always pros and cons. The market gives pros and cons no matter what you're doing. So now really, question of, nice, 130 current viewers. Can we get up over 100 likes? Let's make it 6 days in a row. Does that make sense, everybody, though, about how a different entry point, all of them, your strategy to enter is, in some ways it's good, but in other ways it's kind of not as good, because there's always give and takes. Hopefully that makes sense. Which broker are you with? I am using Take Profit Trader as my prop firm, and then I'm using Tradeovate. Oh, do we get a bounce here? So again, what is that? Yeah, so right here I could see getting long there with a stop slightly below that candle. Again, that's just me thinking out loud. If you're trying to catch a falling knife, this actually has some logic behind why it might bounce, and it actually kind of already did bounce. But we'll see. But again, this is a very low probability trade, but the good news is you'd have a very tight stop, because if this crosshair is my stop, which again, below the low of that hammer, low probability, but if you do kind of nail the bottom here and you get a bigger bounce relative to what was being risked, you could be looking at some nice upside movement. And we are over 100 likes. Very good. So yes, this trend line here is now pretty much done for. And I will maybe potentially do another trade. Mario, what is Ches up to? I remember he used to go to the podcast with you, and he got me in a... Ches is beast moding it out in Colorado. He is now an owner of an excavating company. He has big pieces of equipment. He learned the skill, 5-6 years ago. And then he moved into running his own company. So yeah, he is out there crushing it. Again, I see I'm getting some messages that were put up 10, 15 minutes ago. Questions, all that sort of stuff, I will get to immediately with $5 super chats. Not a requirement. I'm just saying that I may not get to it until 20 minutes after you give it. So whether or not you're still here. Glee Larma. Hi, Clay. Is it better to learn 1 or 2 strategies and continue improving them, as you can only make a finite number of mistakes and learn from them? I would focus on just one strategy at a time, for sure. Yep. Fun Classic. Do you get liquidated even if the candle hasn't closed? Yes, Funktastic. So you, I think you said you're doing the 25,000 account. So Funktastic, the rules for you is this on the $25,000 account. Your profit target is 1,500. So they have the consistency rule, which says this: in a single day, you are not allowed to make more than 50% of this amount. So I'll just in case you're not a math genius like me, 50% of that is $750. So you're not allowed to make more than $750 in a single day. Now, once you get to your pro account, you can make as much as you want. But during the test phase, because they don't want you to go out there and YOLO and get lucky with one trade, because then have you actually proven yourself? No, not really. You prove that you made a degenerate move, you YOLO'd, and you got lucky. So you're not allowed to make more than 50% of that number in a single day. So you're not allowed to make more than $750. But yes, to answer your question, if your account, if you lose $1,500, whether or not the candle is closed does not matter. Your account will be shut down and you failed. Now you can always try again, and the nice thing is when you reset, if you want to try again, it will not cost you 105. It would cost you 100. which is also same for these ones. So the 150 up front, yes, to purchase the account, it will cost you 252. But if you go and you blow up the account because you lose more than 4,500 within it, again, if you lose 4,500, that's not you literally losing it, because you would only lose your cost of the account. That's your risk right there. But if you wanted to try again, the reset fee is $100. So it's not like you have to keep paying that again and again to retry. When you if you do want to retry, it would only be $100. Did that one get stopped out? Oh my goodness, no. No, look. See the crosshair? It would have bounced slightly above there. Yeah, no. Wow, you'd be in by the skin of your teeth still if anybody tried to play the 50 period. I don't know if you're necessarily in enough profit to still call this a winning trade, but you'd still be in it, and you would have been in it by the skin of your teeth. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Granted, the stop would have been slightly below it, so we'll put it right there. We'll just paper trade this one. Oh, bounce off it again. Not looking so hot. Okay, yep, okay. As mentioned, those ones, low probability, but that's why I got to keep the stops tight, because if you do get it in your favor, then it can go, it can work out very well. But wow. Well, at this point, I think we need to get this. Remember, for those of you that have been here for a while, you remember me talking about the ascending triangle. So let's get our trend line back in here from the ascending triangle, as that's looking like it could potentially be coming back into play again. I was going to say, could you buy at the trend line, but then where do you put your stop? I mean, you could put your stop down here, but that's a pretty big stop. And again, that's to buy the trend line when there's clearly a lot of momentum. Probably might be better. Again, I'm just thinking out loud. None of this is advice. I'm a moron. Probably be a little bit better if it came down here and then maybe went sideways a little bit. That could make a little bit more sense. Okay. I'm going to do this just as, I want to see how this candle closes first. But if we can get a candle close up above this area where I have my crosshair, I'm going to put my entry point there. And then my stop, it'll be a very tight stop. Like I said, I want to see how this candle closes first. And again, I'm doing the bare minimum volatility. So that way, there we go. Yes, yep. Come on. Buy, and then stop, sell, there we go. That's not as nice as this platform. See how fast I put all that in there? So if I get filled here, again, the question for you that are new to futures, watch the number down there and ask yourself, how do you feel about that number? And if you think that number is too slow, I'm not offended. That's perfectly fine. But because I will show you a solution to it. There we go. Like I said, very small risk. There is my risk box right there. But if I can get even a move back up to the 50 period moving average, I'd be doing it just fine. So I'm in. So let's see if it wants to come on down or if it wants to come back up a little bit. Is it going to bounce or is it going to come on down and take me out? We'll see. But again, watch that number. And if you're like, that number's too slow for me, Clay, that's fine. Okay, let's make this a winning trade now. There we go. So still was a winning trade, super aggressive. But like I said, the point of all this is watch that number. So as I've been telling people, if that number was too slow for you, you can control that number, the movement, via position size. So you could, if that, like I said, was too slow, you could have come up there and changed that higher. How high could you change it? Well, that depends on your account size, but on the small end of things, you could have changed that number one up as high as 30. But if you think that would still not meet your criteria of volatility and movement, you could come to a $150,000 account and you could have changed that number up as high as 150. All right. Is anybody buying the trend line? Woo! Okay. How are we still at 104 likes? Come on. We are getting some good stuff here. Everybody's learning. We're talking Pam's plant. We're talking futures. We're converting people into the futures market. Is anybody buying this trend line? Mike Miller's buying the trend line. All right. I could see myself, if it wants to come down and then come back up, depending on the risk profile, I could maybe see myself try to... Well, now things are a little bit... Or do you get short here? I am interested in getting short, but it's got to go sideways. Got to go sideways and then come down. I am not interested in getting short right here. That is too scary for me. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I mean, this thing seems like it's gotten a little overstretched. But yes, I am interested. If this thing wants to come up here, go sideways a little bit, because that would give us basically, let me change the colors here. That would give us, so if that's the bottom part, and if it goes sideways a little bit, so I don't know if the high is somewhere like right around here, then check it out. We'd have a nice bear pennant. So if it goes sideways and then it comes down, boom, I like that bear pennant. But I am too scared to get short on it on this candle or even the next candle. I want to see if a little bit of a bear pennant can be built here. Again, if you are enjoying, super chats are always appreciated, or just hit that like button. So let's see what it wants to do. Now, if this bounces up too high, well then basically everything I said about the little bolt or bear pennant's not going to be. Hoover Flag Trader bought 3 micros. Well, yeah, as of now, for anybody that stepped up to the plate and bought that trend line, booyah, power of charts, well done. Now, did it bounce perfectly? It did not. That's why stops and all that, you got to give them a little bit of wiggle room. But right there, power of charts. That's why I like these live streams. Nobody can accuse me of coming, well, whatever, dude. Like a textbook, right? A textbook will come in here and draw this line afterwards and be like, see, and then you couldn't know. But, well, that's easy to draw the trend lines when you already know what happens, but you all saw. And again, I'm not saying this to brag on myself. I'm saying it to brag about technical charts. Technical charts are not a perfect tool, but they are a tool that I argue you should learn. And wow, I am such a bad salesman. Never, not once have I talked about my free webinar this Thursday. I am so pathetic. This is, anyways. So if you do want to learn more about charts, learn about the tool I'm using, how they build consistency, how they can manage risk, how you should use them, how you should not use them, how you should approach the market, and all that. So if you're looking for a good, solid framework, I am offering this free class. It'll be this Thursday, March 20th. I'll put a link in the chat right now if you want to get signed up for it. Oh, he's here to sell stuff and advertise it. Listen, I promise. We are an hour and 40 minutes in. This is the first time I've talked about anything that I offer. So if, yes, I'm doing a little sales here, but like, I am the worst salesman ever. This is the first time. I got to get better, and at least every now and then. But yeah, sign up for that. You taught me charts from about 20 years ago. I don't know about 20, Mike. I've not been around the channel. Well, maybe. We're close. Yeah, no, Mike, you're right. I have been around for almost 20 years now, I guess. Investors Hub. Yes, I was going to say, well, technically you'd have to go back to Investors Hub because I did not start the site until 2013, which only puts us at about 12. But yeah, Investors Hub was about 7 years before that. So, all right, Mike. So you're very good, Mike. Are you a member of my or the community, the Inner Circle community? And again, if anybody wants to come trade alongside me and other really quality traders, that is my private community. Not yet, but I need to be. Right, there you go, Mike. Up above. Click on that link up above. There you go. Would love to have you. Well, wow. I was too scared. I was not willing to buy the trend line, but I know some of you did. Congratulations. Hopefully you've been moving your stop loss up. I hope you don't have your original spot. That, in my opinion at least, that would be a shame to allow such a beautiful trade like this to ultimately turn into a losing trade. I am willing to get short here, just small risk at 1,700. Maybe I just put my stop. What is it at right now? Yeah, what is that, about 20 bucks? I'll risk 20 bucks. Again, I'm going to do the bare minimum of volatility. So if you have no experience with futures, watch that number down there and ask yourself, how do I feel about how it's changing? And if you're not okay with it, that is okay. Okay, I'm in. Put my stop up there. Let's see if this thing wants to come down. But again, watch this right here. If it's too slow, I'm not offended. I will give you a solution for that. But right now, I just want you to watch that number. And I am short, so if you're a beginner, that means I want prices to go down, and I will make money. So if prices go up, I will lose money. So right now, this is not good that it's coming up. But again, just watch the number. That's the key. That's why I'm taking this trade. I want you to watch that number. Ask yourself how you feel about it. Yeah, it does have a hammer on the 5 minute. but it's also right at some key moving averages on the 5-minute. And I'm out. So losing trade on that one. So the bounce continues. The bounce don't care. You can see over here on the 5-minute, it was right at the purple line there, the 50-period moving average and the 21 EMA. So it was a double whammy of resistance. So I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe it gets rejected from there, but no, bulls don't care. Don't care, not right now. We're going up and through. So that was a losing trade, but that was the logic behind it. Again, if you're enjoying what you see here, make sure you hit that like button. Yesterday, I think we had as high as 125 likes. So let's see if we can break that. But if you are enjoying, if it seems as though you're learning stuff, do you like the commentary? Like yesterday was not a whole lot of commentary. It was just me kind of trading. But do you like the commentary? If so, just hit the 1. Like me just kind of mapping out my general thoughts. Is that helpful? Is it educational? Is it not so? Again, I'm still trying to I've only been live streaming for like a month and a half now. So I'm still trying to find my groove. So still trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what people like, what they don't like. All right. Well, as I talk, here, is this trend line going to... Now, there's no way. I'm not... Again, this is my thought. There's no way I'm buying that trend line break. To me, that's the scariest thing ever. If anything, I would be looking to short it. Because this is... but to buy... look how stretched this thing is. But is it really going to come from this trend line all the way up there and break through it? No way. That is scary. Oh my. Okay. Maybe I should be shorting right now, but I'm also a little too scared to do that because this is such a strong move to it. Wow, what a bounce off that lower trend line. Okay, there it is. It is through a little bit. I don't know if that's profitable. Wow. Well, if you had the, like I said, to buy right there, I don't know where your stop is at. Is your stop all the way down there? Really? You're going to have that big of a risk box? Like, I don't know where you put your stop to buy that. So that's what how do you buy that? I don't know how you buy. Let me put it this way. I don't know how you buy it responsibly. Like I said, I'm open to the fact that you could buy, the break, but like, where did you have your stop loss at? I don't see anything logical. Maybe, yeah. So that unfortunately, when big movements like that happen, it messes things up just because it's like, where do I put my stop? There's no logical area to put the stop. You could do totally arbitrary. Love your show, Clay. Go in and check your course. Awesome, great, Hoover flag. See, and then that's the risk you run. Now you could have scalped out, so I'm not saying, but wow, what a wild move. But yeah, again, like I said, because this is a key point is, a responsible trader is like, okay, if I buy the breakout, where do I put my stop? And I'm not seeing anywhere. Do you put it down there? That would make sense from a chart perspective, but does it make sense when your entry point was way up there? No, not really. Now, at this point, things have changed around a little bit because now you could buy the break and then at least you have a tighter stop, right? You could put your stop right there, and I wouldn't consider that crazy. So at least it's gotten tightened up a little bit. Now, I'm still not fully convinced. I'd like to see this build out. So the reverse. Remember down here, I was talking about how if we can get sideways and then get a move down, I like that. The reverse is true here. If it wants to go sideways a little bit and then make a move, I'm interested in that, but I'm not quite sure if it's going to cooperate with that or not. But I will say now, if anybody is buying the break here, I can understand that a little bit better because at least you have a tighter stop now. Maybe for some people, if you're buying there, like, no, that's still kind of a big risk box. Maybe for some of you are like, no, that's perfectly fine. Again, you got to figure out what your personal risk tolerance is. But my point here is that at least the stop loss has moved up some. It becomes a little bit more rational at this point in time. But that was wild. Man, remember that one time when I was talking about that trend line and hey, is anybody going to buy it? For those of you that did buy it, I am jealous. Hoover flag candle bought 50% of it. Yeah, all right, Hoover. So another thing with all this is I like to try to recruit people into my private group. So Hoover, you have been recruited. You cannot say no. I'm sorry. You seem like a good quality trader. Not that you have to be a good quality trader to join. I'm not saying that. But I do like people that seem to have, they're trying to take this stuff seriously. So there you go, Hoover. Sorry, you have to join. You've been recruited. You have no choice. Go get signed up for us. You'll fit in very, very nicely. You're talking charts. I can tell you like charts. Mad Matt. Oh, yeah, same with you, Mad. I've been meaning to do this. I have your stream going in the background while I trade. The commentary is extremely helpful. Okay, good. Well, Mad Max, same with you. I've been meaning to do this for a while. Like, the fact that you have not joined is very insulting to me. So you have also been recruited. You need to get signed up. I want no excuses. All I want is for you to join, because you will fit in very nicely also. Again, it's open to anybody, but there are certain people that I'm like, oh, they would be a great addition. So there's many facets that I'm learning about this, which makes it nice. It's obviously it's fun. There's a revenue potential from it, but now it's like, oh, there's a sales potential, right? I do offer a course, I do offer a chat room, even though I rarely talk about it because I'm like the worst salesman ever. But then there's this recruiting aspect. Like, you can observe people, see how they're talking, seeing how they're behaving, seeing questions they ask, and you're like, I like this person. And then you just force them to. So like Hoover and Mad Mac, they have no choice. They have to join. They have to join. All right, well, now this is, again, if you buy the breakout here, your stop is getting even tighter and tighter, because you could use that as a stop now. So hopefully everybody sees how this breakout right here is just risking the fact of where do you put your stop. But these are less risky because you can move your stop up closer. I wouldn't have gotten into futures if it wasn't for you. Well, good, Mike. I'm glad I could persuade you. I'm going to this week for anyone on the ledge. It's an excellent group. Oh, you're already a member, Hoover? Still wondering about this. Remember this line up here? That's the one we've been tracking for a while. It's coming into play again, and then look at it on the 5-minute. So I'm going to just drop my crosshair there. Look at that area. Boom. Look at the history of it. Right there. And then the whole bunch of times right there, which we witnessed. And even right there, I guess, on that big candle, that is where things have continued to just get rejected from. All right, I will go another 15 minutes at 2 hours, but yeah, we're going to need to get this up to at least 130 likes or $10 in super chats. So we have 8 minutes, but if not, I'll just call it at 2 hours. But if we can get, like I said, up to 130 likes or $10 in super chats, I'll go another 15 minutes. So I'll just use that as my metric of if people are still interested or not. That line is over OR, or what's OR? Over range, OR high? No, this line is nothing. This line is just a resistance that I talked about earlier. Come on, Ken. That's why you got to be here for the entire stream. You should have been here since the beginning until now. Then you would know where all these lines are coming from. Oh, that line is opening range high? Okay. Well, isn't that crazy that I had no idea, but yet I still put it on the chart because the chart led me that way? The power of charts. So in all actuality, this trend line has been quite disappointing. Yeah, I mean right here, but not really delivering much. And with the way it got approached, yeah, that was sketchy. But I'm not a fan of that level. That was a sloppy one. Did not really deliver. Obviously, this one down here, this one delivered in a big way. And that's why risk management matters. Because think about it. Let's just say you played both trend lines, and this one up here, you took a loss on it because it didn't really deliver as a trend line, but you were a disciplined trader. So yes, that you did take a loss, but because it was a disciplined loss, it would have been very minimal. But let's say you also took this trend line. So you're at a 50% win rate. But if you played this one, I mean, look how much this one would have paid you. So that's why risk management matters. You can win some, you can lose some, but the ones that you lose, as long as you're keeping that risk controlled, hey, you know what? You're fine. But all it takes is a couple like this where, I mean, boom, that was a crazy trend line bounce. I got gritty on that last trade, down 60. You're down 60 overall, or you just lost 60 on that trade? Well, I don't know. Are we heading down here to... At this point, this trend line starts to become a little bit shaky in the sense of, is it going to now fail? You got to think that the bears are getting a little more interested. Again, it's still got a long ways to go, and as of right now, the 50-period moving average is doing a good job of holding strong. But, yeah. Now, watch this happen. Watch it come down here, and then just totally destroys because nobody's going to have a stop-loss location because it's just going to break it on like the same candle. That would be very frustrating. So again, ideal world, Clay's little magical world filled with unicorns and butterflies and sweet little ladies on motorized carts. Anybody get that movie reference? But anyways, in my perfect... Okay. Now we got to... Do you get short here? Short? I don't know. You can't have a stop. I could see a short right there, stop slightly above the 21 EMA. Yeah, let's do one more. Just in. So is this going to get continuation to the downside? If this thing's going to snap back up on me, well then, okay, it is what it is. But is this just a breakdown and a back test? Or we've got the back test. Is it going to go? Think about that. We've talked about that in past setups. Is it going to go? Or is this thing just going to be one where it goes straight down and then straight right back up? So let's see what it wants to. Again, watch this number down here. Ask yourself, how do you feel about how it's fluctuating? If you're like, that is way too slow, that's fine. I'll give you the solution here in just a moment. But let's figure out how this trade works. So for those of you that are new to futures, watch that number. Are you seriously just going to go straight back up now? Oh, there we go. Yeah. There we go now. Come on. Time to fail. Come on. Come down some more. I'm going to move my stop loss to at least a winning. So this will be a winning trade now for sure. Let's see if we can get it to... Okay. So small green on that one. But once again, for those of you that were watching that number and saying, Clay, that was way too small. Why would you waste your time in this market? Fair question, but the part of Pam's plant that I want you to stay focused on is not the movement, because you could be saying the movement is garbage, but it's this part right here, and the ability to control it. That is part of Pam's plant, trading futures through a prop firm, because with a prop firm, you could go and bare minimum, you could spend $105 for $25,000 in buying power, and then that number that was at a 1 that I said you could increase if you wanted more movement. You could have changed that number up to 30. Kind of crazy. But if you're like, no, Clay, that's still not enough movement. Okay, I said you had the ability to control it. You could go to the other end of the spectrum, do a $150,000 account for $250, and that number that you saw at a 1, you could have raised that number as high as 150. So that is what I mean by ability to control the movement. You can adjust those things, and you can create whatever kind of movement that you see fit. Man, so disappointing. I mean, overall, like I said, that was a very basic momentum play. The thesis was quite simple. It broke down, didn't want to come back up and back test and then go, and it apparently did not. So that was one of the times where I'm glad I got aggressive with my stop loss. And I did that because it wasn't quite feeling it right. It was kind of like, you're acting a little stronger than what I wanted. So, wow. No, up it goes. Again, if you're enjoying, hit that like button. No, come on, Hoover. Don't start the nonsense talk. Market makers aren't catching anything. There are no market makers set in little cubicles like, let's try to go get people stops. If you're honest with yourself, a lot of people, it's confirmation bias. Whenever they get stopped out, it's, oh, the market makers got me. But the times where they get really close to getting stopped out, think about this trade. Remember this trade here where it shot up and it literally almost stopped me out, but then it went in my favor and I was able to get a small green? What did the market makers all decide to have compassion on me? Nobody's out there hunting stop losses. That is your confirmation bias. You're only thinking about the times where you get stopped out. But those times where you're really close to getting stopped out, but then you don't, your mind just forgets about those because it's not confirming your bias. If your bias is market makers are out there to get me, then yeah, anytime you get stopped out, oh, the market makers got me. But anytime where it got really close to your stop, but then actually never stopped you out, and then it turned into a winning trade, well, that's not confirming your bias. So your mind just forgets about it. So no, because there have been, like I said, literally just on this trade, it shot up. It got oh so close to stopping me out, and then it went in my favor and allowed me to get a winning trade. And I've had a lot of trades like that where it like you're like, wow, how did I not get stopped out? And then it goes in your favor and you walk away a winning trader. So no, there are not market makers out there catching stops or stop loss hunting. That's just, no, that's tinfoil nonsense. It's confirmation bias at its best. Markets move. There are fake breakouts. There are fake breakouts, but there are real breakouts. There are real breakdowns. I mean, it is what it is. But there is not anybody evil out there. There's not a conspiracy against you. None of that. So come on now, Hoover flag. No more talking about market makers. You must have traded penny stocks or something at one point. It's left over like penny stock talk or something. The evil MMs, the market makers. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call it good. Again, if you're interested in learning more about, the tools I'm using, how I build consistency, how I build and manage risk, then I am offering this webinar. It will be this Thursday, the 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Take note of the Eastern Time. And if you do want to join, would love to have you. I'll put a link in the chat right now, and you can go get signed up for it. And then if you want to learn about or come along, learn more about the community that I offer. Exactly, Ken. It's like, Clay, when I used to have my army of shorts on iHub. Come on now. Exactly. So check that out. And then again, Pam's Plant. It's all about trading futures through a prop firm. I've yet to have anybody challenge Pam's Plant. Use that link. Get signed up. Like I said, right here, Pam's Plant. The reasoning on why futures trading through a prop firm is better than stock trading, than options trading, than Forex trading or crypto trading. If you want to be a day trader or you're day trading and you're not trading futures through a prop firm, my claim is that you are wasting your time and you're trading things that are pure garbage, and that there is a better way out there. And Pam's Plant is my argument for that. So seriously, and again, feel free to challenge Pam's Plant, but I've yet to have anybody that has been able to do so. Let me get that out of the way. There we go. So you can, see it up there. But that would be my argument as to why futures through a prop firm is just way better than anything else. And if you're maybe just getting here, I'd encourage you to go back and you can see several trades. You can see the bare minimum of movement that you could expect. And then I talk about how you can control that movement and to think about the low capital requirements. And the fact that if you're a day trader and you're in stocks or options, you have to put up with that pattern day trader rule. That does not exist in the world of futures. So that, the P of PAMS, in and of itself, should be, I would argue, should be enough to convince stock and options traders who have less than $25,000 to move into futures. But there is plenty of other reasonings, as you see there. But that is all I have. So I appreciate everybody's time for being here. As always, let me throw out my email in the chat box. I've been watching you a long time. Welcome to the futures. Futures a little different than stocks. A little different and way better. That is what I would say, Anar. But thank you for the welcome. Are there any instant index trading prop firms? Are there any instant index trading? I don't know what you mean by that, Coach. Are there any instant index? Like, that's what I was trading the whole time. I was trading the index of the NQ or the NASDAQ. So, all right, everybody. Instant funding. No, yeah, some people say there's instant funding, but you still have to go through test phases and stuff like that. So no, at the core, there is not. You're always going to have to first prove yourself as a trader before you have the opportunity to start to make real money. So yeah, some people will say, well, straight to funded, this, that, but at the end of the day, it's not like day one, if you make money, you start to, no. There's still rules that come with it. That's not how it works. So, but like Lillian, that's what I mean. No. They offer instant funding, but you cannot get paid the first day. Like, you have to meet consistency rules. You have to trade for certain amounts of time, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, like Ken says, and it's way more expensive. So no, in terms of practical point of view, there is no straight to funding in the sense of, okay, straight to funding. Okay, now if I start to make money, I get to request that money. No, that doesn't exist. Again, there's still a testing phase because you still have to prove yourself. So no, are you are you like a affiliate for them? What's going on here? Again, listen to my claim. There is no instant funding in the sense you get it and then you just start making money and you get to keep that money. That does not exist. That is my claim. So yes, you get to skip a testing phase, but there's still a built-in testing phase because you've still got to follow all these rules and do all these things, and you can't make requests for money for a certain amount of time. And even when you can request money, it limits you. Again, that doesn't make any of these firms a scam. That's not my claim. I'm just saying that I think per the spirit of the question, no, you don't there's no such thing where you just pay and then you get an account and then that same day you start to make and keep money. Take Profit Trader, you'll eventually get to a live account. Yeah, they will get to a live account. Because right here, you can see that down here. Pro Plus, you are on a live account. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for getting here. I guess, yeah. Thank you for getting here. Thank you for being here. And as always, let me know if you have any questions, but appreciate it. Everybody have